Hello, Graham Vincent, violin maker and musician. I've just finished another violin. Might be quite entertaining to show you this one. It's been made to order, so it's not available, I'm afraid. But this is the one that I was making when Thibaut and Thomas were here, which I actually put together. I joined the neck to the rib garland before I sort of put the box together, and I hadn't cut the outside to size. I hadn't done the edge work. I hadn't put purfling. I hadn't even put the purfling groove in before I glued the box together. So it was sort of put together in a very old-fashioned kind of way, and it did give certain kind of certain challenges, shall we say, but overall I'm really happy with the result. It's a nice violin. It's got a almost a wistful kind of sound to it. It's got some Corelli crystal strings on it, which aren't my usual choice, but some people kind of quite like them, so I thought I'd try them. I probably personally prefer strings with a bit more oomph, a bit more beef to them. And I've literally only strung it up about 5 minutes ago, so it's still going out of tune. Let me get my tuning fork, hang on a sec. That's actually... That's about right. Yeah, interesting. I mean, it's going to open up and sort of warm up a lot over the next couple of days, and I shall play it for a bit. Hear the dog barking out there. I don't know if you can hear that. I learnt a lot of things making this violin in terms of, putting it together the way that I did. So I think I will actually follow a similar approach on the next violin. I mean, it won't be the next one I finish because that's already sort of well underway at the moment. That's the sort of what I've described as that fantasy bog oak one. Yeah, so I mean, I almost feel slightly lost for words, really, about what to say about this one. It has taught me a lot. I'm really happy with the sort of with the actual sort of ground that I used. One of the things you've got to be really careful is you don't lose that wonderful chatoyance in the maple, and I haven't. It's got fantastic movement, despite the fact there's quite a dark varnish on there. It's not affected the actual maple at all. You get the lovely kind of shimmer and movement from it, so that's really good. And it has actually got a, in terms of its appearance, I'm very happy with how it looks. It's got a certain age about it. And partly these things are informed by how you make things, and this being put together the way I did, and then the channel being sort of carved after the all the edge work being done and the purfling being put in after the thing was assembled, does mean it's got that, inevitably, because the way it's worked, because the handwork, it's kind of got that look of some of the older violins. So that's really interesting for me, I have to say. Yeah, it's fascinating. You're catching me at a sort of moment when I'm kind of pondering and wondering, rather than telling you about things, you're actually sort of watching me sort of thinking and discovering almost. Yeah, no, I'm really happy with the way it's turned out. Nice, really nice. Yeah, so what's next? Well, I've got to get on and finish the violin that I've been making. I think also I'm quite tempted to actually sort of because I've done a lot of videos on this channel, obviously, and I don't want to go over and over the same stuff again, but what I'm kind of thinking is I might actually, let me just show you something I made recently. As one of the things that Thibaut did comment on is my absolute love of hand tools, and I just made myself this recently, really traditional kind of frame saw. Everything, I made everything. I made, turned the handles, made the whole frame, and it's the actual, these bits are sort of 6-inch nails, which I've used. And it's a bit of an old band saw. That's what I'm using for the blade, but it's absolutely, it's a joy to use. And I'm kind of thinking I might well work through various tools that I got in the workshop and actually make an example for per video, one tool per video almost, just to sort of, so that, because I know a lot of people kind of would look at all the different tools that violin makers have and think, how on earth am I going to afford all of that? Well, maybe if I just go through and show how you can actually sort of produce your own at a very low cost, that might be quite useful. I'll tell you what, there's also a wonderful joy of using a tool that you've made yourself as well. So anyway, we'll talk about that later. You know what? I find myself wittering on a little bit, so I'm going to stop now. Yeah, just going to say cheerio, look after yourselves, take it easy, and talk to you soon. Cheers, bye.